Hello everyone, and I am your teacher Adrien Beauvais, and welcome to my first course. Bonjour tout le monde, je suis votre professeur Adrien Beauvais et bienvenue dans mon cours. For my first lesson, I will introduce you how to introducing oneself in French. And donc en français, mon cours ça sera de se présenter en français pour les débutants. First, I am very happy that you are listening my course, and I'm also glad that you choose to learn French. I think this is a very beautiful language and also very interesting. And before we begin, I want to say that you made the good choice, and I will expose you the reasons. So, first reason, you have to know that about 3 million of people in the world speak French. The majority of them are in 3 continents, in Europe, in North America, and in Africa. In Europe, France has 66 million of people who speak French officially, and the other people in Belgium, Switzerland, and Luxembourg, we group some 10 million of people who speaks French. After in North America, a big place in which you can learn French is Canada, and particularly Quebec, in which some 8 million of people is speaking the language. But the majority of the people who speak French are coming from North Africa and West Africa. Second reason, the French language is well represented in worldwide organizations such as the UN, in which French is an official language for diplomacy and for working. And also France, as China, belong to the Security Council of the UN. You also can find French in the International Olympic Committee and in the International Red Cross. Third reason, as I said, French is very useful to such a job. In these areas I explained in the first reasons. And France remains an economic power with its because it's the sixth richest country of the world, and I think about Canada also, which is a big place an interesting place to work, and also in West Africa, which is still in development. And fourth reasons, you have to know that France is one of the most visiting countries worldwide. More than 70 million of people are visiting the country each year. After, when you want to go to, if you want to go to school to France, you have to take the TEF, the test d'évaluation de français, if you want to enter big business schools and famous universities such as Paris-Sorbonne, HEC, Lyon, and so on. Then, if you learn French, you will be more open to French culture, and you will have some kind of big knowledge about its literature, and the figure of literature, of French literature, such as Victor Hugo, who writes Les Misérables, and Émile Zola, who wrote Germinal. And these people lived in the 19th century. You will also know Molière and Voltaire, who such a big literature figure and in the preceding centuries. Then also you will learn, if you learn French, you will have some huge amount of vocabulary in fashion, in food, in romance, and in philosophy. And maybe you can impress your boyfriend or your girlfriend if you say to him or to her some French words like "je t'aime." It will be interesting. It will be very impressive for him or for her. And finally, the last reason is that French language is close to English, and maybe closer to English than Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese, and Romanian. French belong for your culture. You have to know that there is a link. There is some kind of historic link between France and England, and it dates back from 1066 when William the Conqueror overthrew the King of England at that period, and when he took over the power, he brought with him some French words at the core. I will now present you the objectives of a course, and so the objectives, the goals are very simple for this first lesson. First objectives, you will be able to present yourselves, your name, your age, your nationality, and your occupation after this lesson. I hope also you will be able to be aware of French pronunciation, particularly mine, and then you will learn some kind of official French grammar points. I mean the essential points when you start learning the language. I want to explain you that first we will focus on dialogues, and after I will explain the grammar points, and finally I will finish with the vocabulary. So, first dialogue. Bonjour, je m'appelle Mathieu, j'ai 27 ans et je suis professeur. Je suis français. Enchanté. Je répète. Bonjour, je m'appelle Mathieu. J'ai 27 ans et je suis professeur. Je suis français. Enchanté. Bonjour, je m'appelle Nathalie. J'ai 24 ans et je suis journaliste. Je suis française. Je suis ravie de faire votre connaissance. I repeat again for Nathalie. Bonjour, je m'appelle Nathalie. J'ai 24 ans et je suis journaliste. Je suis française. Je suis ravie de faire votre connaissance. And I repeat for the dialogue in itself. Bonjour, je m'appelle Mathieu. J'ai 27 ans et je suis professeur. Je suis français. Enchanté. Bonjour, je m'appelle Nathalie. J'ai 24 ans et je suis journaliste. Je suis française. Je suis ravie de faire votre connaissance. I hope you can repeat after me. I try to leave to you some blank to repeat. The second dialogue. Monsieur, quel est votre nom? Mon nom est Hughes, Melvin Hughes. J'ai 55 ans. Je suis anglais. Je suis avocat. Monsieur, quel est votre nom? Mon nom est Hughes. Melvin Hughes. J'ai 55 ans. Je suis anglais. Je suis avocat. Third dialogue. Madame or mademoiselle, comment vous appelez-vous? Je m'appelle or je suis suéliensier. J'ai 31 ans et je suis chinoise. Je suis infirmière. Madame, mademoiselle, comment vous appelez-vous? Je m'appelle or je suis suéliensier. J'ai 31 ans et je suis chinoise. Je suis infirmière. You have to know that for the third dialogue, I put suéliensier. In Chinese it will be the reverse, but in France and in French it's like in English, it's the first name and then the last name. The grammar points now. So maybe you already know that bonjour, it's the common way to say hello in French. And for people who doesn't know each other, or it's a formal way. And salut is more informal. It's when you are saying when you meet some friends and some people you already know. Then enchanté. Enchanté is a common expression to use when you meet somebody for the first time. There is another way to say it, more longer but also interesting to know it. It's je suis ravi de faire votre connaissance. Third points. You just saw the sentence je suis ravi de faire votre connaissance, and it's very interesting because you have to know that French adjectives like ravi varies in gender and number depending on the noun preceding them. I mean the male varies French male words and female words, and female words for the most words of them they take an e at the end, like ravi, which is spelling in female R-A-V-V-I-N-E at the end. After, then, monsieur, madame, mademoiselle, it's a polite way to address to someone one doesn't know. And after e is a little word to coordinate two ideas in a sentence. It's very useful when you doesn't want to make two separate sentences. Also very interesting grammar points is comment or quel. These are pronouns, question pronouns to ask somebody names. Yes. Comment vous appelez-vous? Or, quel est votre nom? Then, yes, in French there is an important thing is the conjugation. Conjugation in Chinese doesn't exist. What I mean is there is for example I put the verb s'appeler in present in French, and there is kind of at the end there is endings at the ends of these verbs, of these conjugated verbs, but in Chinese it's always the same. I mean for I, for you, for he or she, for we, for you, for them, for there, it's for s'appeler, it's always jiao, wo jiao, ni jiao, ta jiao, woman, nimen, tamen jiao. It's always the same. But in French, it's different. The endings depending on the person. It depending on the number. I mean, if it's singular or plural, because you have to know that je, tu, il, elle, on, or in English, I, you, he, she, or it is singular, and nous, vous, il, elle. In English, it's we, you, they. It's plural, so it depends. It depends on that. Also, it depends on the gender. If it's male or if it's female, it's not the same. It depends also on the time and the conjugation. Also depends on the present, the past, the future. There are specific conjugation times for these times, and the voice, if it's active or passive voice, and the mood. I mean, there is different mood in French. You have indicative mood, the imperative mood to give some orders. You have subjunctive mood, and so on. So for the verb s'appeler, I will give you now the conjugation in present, in simple present, in French simple present. Je m'appelle. Je m'appelle is my name is in English, or in Chinese, 我叫. Je m'appelle is je m'appelle, tu t'appelles, il, elle ou on s'appelle, nous nous appelons, vous vous appelez, or and il s'appelle. So this is s'appeler is a verb of the first French group, because you have to know that there is three groups for French verbs. The first group of verbs, of French verbs, ends with e and r. The second group ends with I and r, and the third group is the other verbs. And for the first groups, like s'appeler, it's the same. It's the same endings. I mean, for the first person, singular person, je, it's i. For tu is es. For il, elle, or on is i. For nous is ons. For vous is ez. And for il or elle in plural is ent. Also another point, there is a grammar modification, a spelling modification. Look at s'appeler, there is just one L, and for the first person, singular person, the second, the third person of singular, and the third plural person is 2L, because it's the pronunciation. It's L, m'appelle, tu t'appelles, il, elle, on s'appelle, il s'appelle, and for the nous and vous is appelons, vous appelez. It's not the same. So it's just one L for that. It's the pronunciation, but the pronunciation is different. Also, to introduce is its age in French. One's age is French. Is you have to use the verb avoir plus the number and on, which is the age. And the verb avoir is in English to have, and it belongs in the third group in French. Sorry. So the conjugation is a little bit tricky. J'ai, for j'ai, tu as, il, elle, on a, nous avons, vous avez, il, elle, on. So it's not the same as the verb appeler in present. So you have to learn it by heart. You have no choice. Then, if you want to introduce your profession, your occupation, and your nationality, you have to use the verb être, to be, and your profession and your nationality, which in this case adjectives, and also the conjugation of the verb être is also very different from the first groups. For the first group, je suis, tu es, il, elle, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils, elles sont. So also as the verb avoir, it belongs to a third group, and you have to learn it by heart. There is no, in French language. It's not so easy, so I recommend you to hard work. There is no miracle. And I will finish by the vocabulary, the useful vocabulary. So I make a summary of the expression learned, and I put the French and the equivalent in Chinese. I think this is more appropriate for you. And I will repeat the words for you. Bonjour. Enchanté. Je suis ravi de faire votre connaissance. Monsieur, Madame, Mademoiselle. En. Quel est votre nom? Comment vous vous appelez? S'appeler. Nom. Français. Anglais. Chinois. Professeur. Journaliste. Avocat. Infirmière. Also, I put some nationalities, the useful nationalities you can meet in your life, such as Allemand, and I put also the female words. I repeat, Allemand or Allemande, Américain, Américaine, Belge. For this one, the male and the female word is the same, so it's an exception. Canadien, Canadienne, Coréen, Coréenne, Italien, Italienne, Japonais, Japonaise, Espagnol, Espagnol also, Portugais, Portugaise, Russe, Suisse or Suissesse, Suédois, Suédoise, Taïwanais, Taïwanaise, Vietnamien, Vietnamienne. And also I did the same for the occupation. I put some I put some common occupations. Banquier, banquière. Cadre, or in English, there are the same English word in French, manager. Coiffeur, coiffeuse. Cuisinier, cuisinière. Docteur. This one is an exception. There is no female word. It's just a male word. Employé, employé. Étudiant, étudiante. Ingénieur, ingénieur. Mannequin. So this one also is an exception. Even if the occupation is essentially female. Ouvrier, ouvrière. Patron, patronne. Policier, policière. Soldat. This is another exception. And finally, vendeur, vendeuse. So thank you very much I will say thank you very much for assisting my course, and I will be available on Sundays and Mondays, and I hope you enjoyed my first class. For me, this is the first time I introduce a course, so sorry, I apologize for a mistake I made, and I hope we can meet you soon. So see you soon. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.